Your life had a movie moment. Your fiancé said him or the puppets. You chose the puppets. Take us to that scene, please.
He said, "It's me or the puppets." And so I've always wanted to be a ventriloquist. Okay, that's been my thing since I've been 13 years old. I chose him and I put the puppets under the bed where they collected dust for a year. And I said, "What do you do?" I said, "You have to tell them that you've chosen the puppets." So we walked into the kitchen. May was on my arm. And I said, "Listen, April's chosen. Sayonara." What does it take to commit to something unconventional when the world wants to be normal? Anybody telling you to settle down in life is jealous of you and they're just trying to dim you. So stand out, baby. Somebody said to my mom, "Is your daughter famous?" And she said, "Well, her puppet has a bodyguard." So yeah, my puppets have bodyguards. What I did was I just kept going. And one thing I've always been good at is I've always just kept going. I don't know how I do it. They're just never been in my DNA to give up.
Big dreams don't come quietly. They demand risk. They demand fire. They demand transformation. Welcome to The Corporate Life, Billion-Dollar Conversations. Hosted by Hina Siddiqui, CEO and founder of Corporate Influence Media, creator of Capital Stage Credibility Positioning, four-time Global Award winner, featured across more than 700 global outlets, and heard in 94 countries. Join us as we sit with tech CEOs, multi-million-dollar entrepreneurs, and leading investors, the people building what's next. Here, success isn't a headline. It's a human story. The turning points, reinventions, failures, breakthroughs, and bold decisions that change everything. Because every life is a movie, and you're the star of yours.
Some people spend their whole life trying to figure out who they are. April Brucker knew at 13 she was going to be a ventriloquist. But somewhere between the dream and the reality, a man showed up. He proposed on the third date. And then he gave her an ultimatum, him or the puppets. Most people would have chosen the relationship. April went under the bed, pulled out May Wilson, and said goodbye. What happened next is one of the most unconventional, unfiltered, and genuinely cinematic stories we have ever had on this show. She performed on streets when no one would hire her. She heard no so many times she stopped counting. She wrote her own television special and streamed it on a British network twice. She built her own chat show in Vegas. She marched on the RNC with a Donald Trump puppet who now has his own bodyguard. And through all of it, every door that closed, every wall she had to knock down, she kept one thing constant. She never put the puppets back under the bed. Because April Brucker did not just choose ventriloquism over a relationship, she chose herself. And when you hear what she says about heartbreak, headlining, and what it really takes to build a life nobody else would dare to live, you will understand why her movie title is simply this. Did that just happen? This is April Brucker, and this is her movie. April, your life had a movie moment. Your fiance said him or the puppets. You chose the puppets. Take us to that scene,
Okay,
please.
well, what happened was I grew up in a little town called Bethel Park, PA, and I dreamed my whole life of going to New York City to be a ventriloquist, an actress, and everything else. And so I had attended NYU, I got my acting degree, and I met Sean, the man that I thought I was going to marry. Well, he proposed on the third date. That's a red flag, apparently. Anyway, uh, he said, "It's me or the puppets." And so I thought I've always wanted to be a ventriloquist. Okay, that's been my thing since I've been 13 years old, but I don't want to be alone forever. And so my mom would always talk about these family members that I had that never got married, that were alone. And I just kept picturing those lectures. And so I chose him and I put the puppets under the bed where they collected dust for a year. So anyway, as they're collecting dust, I'm in this relationship and it's getting worse and I'm languishing and I miss my puppets. And I'm shocked when he's controlling. I'm shocked when he doesn't want to hold a job. Like I'm shocked. So it's like my life is like a really sad movie. Like it's kind of like a scary movie, but sad because scary movies are funny. But anyway, I go under my bed where my puppets are collecting dust and I get May Wilson. Why, hello, Hina. I love that outfit. May Wilson, everybody. And anyway, so May, I said, "I miss you." And I said, "I miss you too." And I said, "What do we do?" I said, you have to tell them that you've chosen the puppets. So we walked into the kitchen. May was on my arm. And I said, listen, April's chosen. Sayonara. And that's how that was the movie moment where I chose my puppets.
Yeah. So it's clearly you were in love with your puppets more than you were in love with your fiance. And definitely there was something that the puppets gave you that your fiance could not. So what was it that he could not give you that your puppet
Let's
gave
see.
you?
My fiance didn't give me respect. There was that. He didn't give me love. But we appreciate April for who she is. We just don't like the fact that she dates losers. All right, May, this is my interview. We've talked about this. Seriously, you want to know more about him? Okay. He had no job, no career, and no future. He goes to April's home state and says, listen, I want to retire here someday. I said, retire? Sean, in order to do that, you have to have a job.
Okay. So was it really about puppets or about identity?
Was it about puppets or about identity? That's a good question. And actually, I've never been asked that before, but I think it was about both because he didn't respect me for me and he didn't respect my passions. But what do you think it was about, May? Well, April, I can tell you one thing. It was about the fact that I didn't like collecting dust, okay? And I had more gugs in me than Kim Kardashian, and not the fun kind, okay? So, for me, it was about being a star, and he was in the way. Okay, May, this is my interview. We've been through this. She gets very emotional about the subject. Emotional. She put me under the bed for an entire year for this guy. Would you be emotional too, Hina? Easy, May. I've apologized how many times? Apologize again. I'm sorry I chose Sean over you. But she stopped being a dummy and she chose the puppet. See, it's a happy ending.
Ventriloquism isn't mainstream glamour. Did you ever feel judged?
Did I ever feel judged? Actually, no, I never did feel judged. I mean, people, since I've been visible, because if you go to the TLC page, and we're on every major streaming platform. No, 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 I'm on every major streaming platform. You're just there, April. Sorry, May. This is what it's like. But we're on every major streaming platform, and we've gotten fan letters from all over the world. So while of course, we feel judged. We don't feel that judged because the world has a lot of different people and a lot of looks in it. And there's more to life than aesthetic beauty?
So how was your experience with the glamour world being with your puppets?
What was the experience like, May? Well, April, the experience was I am so glamorous that they could not get enough of moi. It was actually pretty cool, and we've had a lot of opportunities because of our exposure, and one of the things we've done is music. We wrote a Christmas song about our ordeal called Merry Christmas. I'm so glad I didn't marry you. And it's an ode to all the dating duds of Christmas past. Also just did a collaboration with the world famous ink spots called That's the Way It Is. It's a reimagining of the Ella Fitzgerald track with the Bill Kenny ink spots. And both are streaming on all major platforms. And both tracks have seen worldwide airplay. I know. And I am the first showbiz legend that you have interviewed, right, Hina? May, you are putting this woman on the spot. I'm so sorry. But anyway, how's your experience been, May? Well, I love working with the ink squats, and if anybody knows, the ink squats are in Fallout. And Miss Piggy, if you're watching, I am going to turn you into Lakin. That's the glamour world. I'm taking over. But what about Christmas, May? And Mariah Carey, you're yesterday's news. You know they're both watching. Oh my God, I love you, I love you, I love you. This is what it's like. But anyway, May, your sugar daddy's over there. What? I'll see you later. May Wilson, everybody.
So what does it take to commit to something unconventional when the world wants you to be
What does
normal?
it take to commit to something unconventional when the world wants to be normal? Well, it takes a lot, Hina, honestly. It takes a lot. And I talk about it in my book, Don't Read My Lips. I talk about how, hey, guess what? And it's a how-to on ventriloquism. But the one thing I talk about is it's a chapter to all the people that want to do this for real. And one thing that I tell them is, hey, guess what? This is not always going to be easy. You're going to always have the unexpected. But if this is what you are meant to do with your life, you will find a way to do it. And there were so many times that I wanted to quit, that my mother was begging me to come home. Okay. And I know that every tech billionaire, CEO, startup guy watching this has a mother begging him or her or them or whomever to come home right now and do something normal. Don't. Okay. Don't ever give up on your
Mm.
dreams. And this is coming from somebody that's a little bit of a Luddite. All right. Don't ever give up, because what you are doing is changing the world. And to this audience watching, I love what AI is doing. And I know that that's an unpopular opinion, but I think AI is just going to bring puppets to a whole new level in a good way. In a good way, because we are
Mm.
humans. We have brains. We tell the technology what to do, but don't tell the technology that.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. And I totally believe that AI can never
No.
replace people intelligence, people emotions, obviously. Like emotions is the best thing. I think that's the mainstream thing. Emotions are everything, feelings are everything. And when you work with AI, you feel that
Yeah,
component
and so
missing.
this is why the human component's always going to be important. And also, I was at a panel where there's this big fear that AI is going to replace actors. Well, guess what? AI doesn't go to rehab, AI doesn't
Yeah.
get divorced, AI doesn't get arrested. I mean, they could work on it.
Yeah. They need to be really, really polished to do all that humans actually
Yeah,
do and
but
get through.
AI can it can help you write a compelling storyline, it can help you with illustrations. And so I think
Yeah.
we need to stop being scared. But, the thing is that it's an unconventional path, the one that I've chosen and the one that a lot of startup people choose. And this technology is bringing the world together. And one opportunity that I had with these guys right after I did TLC was My Strange Addiction. It was initially on TLC before it was streaming worldwide. Was I was on a platform called YouNow, and I got to meet people from all over the world as I was streaming, and these were ventriloquists, creators, and so by choosing an unconventional path, you meet other people choosing an unconventional path, and you meet other creators, and you just meet so many people that just want to make the world better.
Yeah. So I would like to come back to the question where I said, like, how was it to be, how was it like to be unconventional in this normal world? How was the struggle and what did it look like in day-to-day
Oh gosh,
life?
I tried to be the best ventriloquist that I could be. After things ended with my fiancé, I tried to be the best ventriloquist. I worked as a Satan telegrammer. I worked as a promo model. I performed on the street. I performed anywhere that they would let me. And I heard no all the time. And no doesn't always, I just heard no so many times. And there were so many times that I thought about packing it up. And I just thought, wait a minute, no might mean not yet or you're not ready. And so it only made me work harder. And my hard work is, and the fact that I didn't give up, it is something that has opened so many doors to me. I have gotten to do a show in Vegas. I've gotten to do a chat show in Vegas. I've gotten to do music. I've gotten to write books because there are people who, and I've learned this about not just people like myself, but tech entrepreneurs or anybody with a bigger vision, is a lot of people, when a door doesn't open, they see a wall and they bang on the wall. And it's like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Sometimes you need to knock down the wall and build a door yourself.
So did you build that door?
I did, and I keep building doors, and I try every day. And if you've ever seen me repair anything, you know that I'm tragic. But but anything. But anyway, jokes aside, I'm building that door all the time with I did a special called April Backstage with my puppets and I as we wait for me to go on stage. And I thought, why don't I do my own television special? And I wrote it, and it streamed on a British network for not once, but twice. It was pay per view, and now it's streaming on Vimeo. I built the door. I have my own special. I built the door. April in Vegas, I had my own chat show by the pool at the English Hotel. And when Trump was initially running for president, I was living in New York City. I live in fabulous Las Vegas now. That's why I'm coming to you from the West Coast. You're coming to me from the future. I'm coming to you from the past. But anyway, everybody said, it's not going to be a thing. And I said, but what if it is a thing? So every day I tried to build that door. And when I think about giving up, I think of my great grandfather, who was nothing more than a wool turner in the mills of Pittsburgh. And he didn't even have a middle school education. But, and my dad always quoted this story. He said, he said, your best friend in life is a dollar bill, and the only thing you have to sell is yourself. So if you're not building that door and thinking about how to monetize it, shame on you.
Yeah. Money is absolutely important.
And also advocating for yourself as a creative and a professional is important. It doesn't make you greedy. It makes you respect your time, especially as a woman. And
Yeah.
this is a woman. It's very hard to talk about money as a woman.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of shame and guilt around money with women because I have spoken to a lot of women on this show and otherwise. And I see that there's a lot of shame and guilt around money, and we are not trained to receive.
No, we are not.
And it's always connected with
Greed, and
greed.
also there's a gender aspect to this. And there are so many times that I hear, you're a woman ventriloquist. Like, I can't just be a ventriloquist, because it's a man's world. Ooh. And the one thing my mother always told me, and this stuck with me, is never make a big deal out of being a woman. Just be good at what you do. And but there are people that
Yeah.
are like, and this next comic coming up is a woman. I'm just thinking, that's what you think. Anyway, but it's just so much, greed. But speaking of greed, this is huge. Donald J. Tramp. So, President Tramp, what do you think of tech? I love tech, and tech loves me. It's huge. and so, this is Hina. She's interviewing us. Hina, you look like my fourth wife. Have a wife, President Tramp. What can I say? It's time for an upgrade. That's a tech joke. President Tramp. Whatever. So, what are you doing today? Well, April, I'm focusing on family values. Family values? Really? Do you know what the number one cause of divorce is? Money? Wrong! Marriage! Folks, you can't make this stuff up. So, what are you doing in your spare time? Just like you, April, I'm performing stand-up comedy. Oh, no. Oh, yes. You want to hear a joke? Not really. What do you two and the women's ice hockey team have in common from the USA? Us and the women's ice hockey team from the USA, I don't know. You both want to knock my teeth out now. Oh my God. It's funny because it's true. I have a future at this comedy thing. Not really. You want to hear another joke? No. What do you call one illegal immigrant on the moon? I don't know, President Trump. A problem. What do you call 10 illegal immigrants on the moon? I don't know, President Trump. What do you call a million illegal immigrants on the moon? I don't know. Problem solved. To the moon, April, to the moon. Now, if you're watching, I love Bitcoin. Bitcoin loves me. Okay, no, President Trump.
April, you literally speak through characters. Is it easier to tell the truth through a puppet?
Is it easier to tell the truth through you? I don't lie. I tell the truth all the time. No, it is actually easier because the way I came up with him is a tramp is a fop or a folly, right? And Trump had trademarked his name, speaking of business and money. And he trademarked his name. And speaking of trademark, you can watch me on April Backstage on Vimeo. It's my job to plug, remember? Shut up, April. But it is easier, and puppets get away with more. Apparently, people laugh when he says stuff. Because I'm a comedy legend! Oh, God. And I find that people respond very strongly to him. He's gotten punched. He's also had people that they've come up to him and they've lectured him. When I was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, marching on the RNC, somebody said to my mom, "Is your daughter famous?" And she said, "Well, her puppet has a bodyguard." So yeah, my puppets have bodyguards. I'm puppet bodyguard level famous.
Right. So now let's come back to the question like, how long did it take for you to get through the struggle and get to a normal life?
I don't know that any creator or artist has a normal life, but what I did was I
Hmm.
just kept going. And one thing I've always been good at is I've always just kept going. I'm just one of those people that I don't know how I do it. I just don't give, it's just never been in my DNA to give up. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with giving up. Like sometimes you should give up. Like if your house is burning down, like if it's life or death, please like go somewhere safe. But it's just always kind of been in my DNA not to give up. And so it started to get easier when I realized I made the right decision by leaving my ex, choosing the puppets, and I just made my work the focus, and I still make it the focus. I watch other ventriloquists, I study up on ventriloquists. I watch stuff that's good for my brain. I read stuff that's good for my brain. I got an MFA in creative writing and screenwriting from Antioch so I could learn how to write better for these guys. I've taken classes in Shakespeare so I'm better at my diction and elocution, and I just keep studying. And so as I embraced, okay, this is who I am and what I do, it got easier. And your ex was a loser. Oh, thank you, President Tramp. That's the one thing we can agree on. Well, anyway, I gotta go to the oral office. You mean Oval Office? Well, Bill Clinton called it the oral office. I'll be here all week. Try the veal. President Tramp, everybody. Isn't he great?
It was great. So tell us about your
My
acting
acting
career.
career, in addition to being a ventriloquist, I do act. I went to the Tisch School of the Arts. I'm Lee Strasberg trained. And during the pandemic, I actually went back to class. I was in Crimes of the Heart. I was Meg McGrath. Before that, I was a singing telegrammer. So I acted and was in costume every day. And I was in Murdered by the Mob, the longest off Broadway dinner theater show in New York City. And I played Antoinette, the Italian hairdresser, and Cookie, the Guma. And anyway, it's still running. There's still great people, and I can't tell you what happens in the end in Huerta, but if you're in New York City, you should go see it.
Sure, I would love to next time when I come. I was there in 2024. Maybe next month I
Well, you
might
should
go.
go, and if you want a night out, these are the people that'll do it, and they are just wonderful. This was a wonderful group, and one thing about acting is acting depends on the ensemble. And another great group I worked with is the Family Rep. I wrote plays for them. I was in their version of the Crucifixion, and it's Marvin Camillo Valentine. Marvin Camillo, he's the man. I love him, Marvin. I love you, Panchito. And his father founded it, and they are just a great group. I love them. And so, but they are just, yeah, Marvin Camillo Valentine, you are my man. Great group. And same with Murdered by the Mob. Check out their work. And so, but when you get people together that are so good, and I can say that for the Family Rep and Murdered by the Mob, you just get this magic. And that's what makes a good play,
Hmm.
good movie is the magic in the cast. And that is just an intangible that can't be created. And a lot of times when you get a bad movie, it's a bad script, but also the chemistry and magic is lacking in the cast. But that's just my opinion.
Interesting.
Get ready for the ultimate challenge, this or that. Choose fast, trust your instincts, and let's go.
April, now I would like to play a game with you. It's called This or That, and where I would give you two options. You just need to pick one instinctively, and this tells us about yourself, your personality.
I'm ready.
Who's more honest, April or the character?
Ooh, I'd have to say the character because I'm a Libra. I like peace in the world. I'll try to be diplomatic. It kind of backfires sometimes. So I'd have to say my character. I trust my characters more than I trust myself.
Hmm. Puppet on stage or real you off stage?
Ooh, can I pick both? Uh, it's this or that, right? I'd have to say puppet on stage.
Date night or stage
Stage
lights?
lights, definitely. I am all about the stage lights.
Safe relationship or strange career?
Strange career. Safe relationship might be nice someday, but strange career, I have all sorts of stories that come with it. And it makes me the cool aunt, and I don't want to give up being the cool aunt to my nieces anytime soon.
Be realistic or watch me.
Watch me.
Human drama or puppet
Ooh,
chaos.
this is a toss-up because human drama can be pretty interesting. But puppet chaos, I can get creative. Can I get back to you on that one?
Yeah.
How about puppet chaos? Puppet chaos it is.
Stability or
Spotlight,
spotlight.
baby, all the way.
Applause or approval.
I'd have to say applause because approval isn't always good. There have been some bad people in history that have gotten approval, but applause means you're speaking to the people that are listening. So applause.
Heartbreak or headlining.
I'd have to say headlining. I've had enough heartbreak in my life, but heartbreak leads to headlining.
Yeah, I agree. Settle down or stand out.
I'd have to say stand out because, I'm not going to settle down. Anybody telling you to settle down in life is jealous of you and they're just trying to dim you. So stand out, baby.
If you had to choose again, him or the puppets.
Oh, the puppets. Hands down. As a matter of fact, if I had to choose again, I wouldn't even give him a first date.
Okay. April, well played. Now, my next question to you is, if someone listening right now feels too weird to be successful, what would you tell them?
I would use Ruby. What is this thing? It's my camera phone, Ruby. The question is, what do you tell somebody that feels too weird to be successful? Well, the first thing I said is, why, bless your sweet little heart. There's nobody weirder than April when she talks to dolls all day. Ruby. So, Ruby, what else would you say to somebody that feels too weird to be successful? A number of years ago, my Harold, well, before we got married, I was speeding along to go to the hair salon, and I hear the siren and flashing lights. And I hear, "Whatever, ma'am," and I just keep going because I don't want to be late for my hair appointment. So I get to the hair salon, and he says, "Ma'am," this cop, who's very handsome, "I should arrest you for evading the police." And I said, "Why, bless your sweet little heart." I said, "You're not going to do that. I have my hair appointment." So he gave me the ticket, and I went to court. Okay, I need to answer the question. I looked really good after my hair appointment, and I beat the ticket, and he said, "Ma'am, can I take you out to dinner sometime?" Okay, this is going nowhere. It's going somewhere. Because I said to him, "You're too weird to be successful with me." Okay. And how did this end? My bless your sweet little heart. I married Harold Chapeau, the chief of Hazy, Arkansas, and we were married for 50 years. So, kids, take a risk in that. What is this thing? It's my phone. Okay, can you teach me how to use a computer later? Yes, Ruby, because I got to win at that automatic gambling. Ruby Chapeau, to answer your question, you're never too weird to be successful.
We believe that every life is a movie and you are the star of yours. Season 3 is all about that. So your life is
Yes.
definitely a movie, a very
Yes.
interesting one. I see that clearly. What is the title of your movie,
Oh God, the
April?
title of my movie. The title of my movie is "Did That Just Happen?"
And why is that?
Because I feel like so many moments in my life are like that. For instance, Donald J. Tramp, when I started doing him as a character, one of the people who actually likes Donald J. Tramp and is a fan of ventriloquism is Roger Stone, who's one of Trump's right-hand men. And on a Facebook page that's since been hacked, otherwise I'd produce the receipts, he was following me, and he started kind of going at it with me and with some of my followers, and people were like, "Did Roger Stone just come on your page?" And I'm like, "Yes, that just happened." Then another time I was doing a show with Mae Wilson, and this drunk gets up in the front row and screams, "The puppet sings!" Yes, that just happened. And then another time I was doing something with Donald J. Tramp, and he got into a fight with this guy, and I said, "Listen," I tried to break it up, and he said, "I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to the puppet." So yeah, that just happened. That totally happened. That's just my whole life. That really just happened.
Okay. So now, for those who would like to follow the rest of your movie, how can they
Go
do
to my
that?
website, aprilbrooker.tv. Go to my social media. I'm April Brooker. Or, go to my YouTube. You'll see the movie every day. And, or, like I said, my episode of My Strange Addiction is streaming online. But my belief is that my movie's only half over. Like, there's still more to my movie to come. So you better be watching.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for your time, April. I loved your puppets and
Thank you.
what we talked about today. Thank you
Thank
for your
you.
time.
This is The Corporate Life. More stories, more insight, more truth. Until the next episode, stay curious. Don't forget to subscribe.